Yo, what is up, everybody? It is Sunday, December 1st, Aaron. December 1st. How about that, dude? Guess what I just did? I just went and picked out a couple of Christmas trees.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fun.
They're currently sitting out back. We're gonna go with a room Christmas. Like we got a big one. I got one that's way too big for my house, probably.
Yeah.
It's gonna be scraping the ceiling, way too thick. My house is not big. It's gonna kind of dominate the space. But
We did that last year. Oh, miserable. Miserable.
No, I don't know though, dude. It's a lot
miserable.
of tree,
no, we did that in our house. Like we had a tree. Maddox picked it out. It was way too big for the house. It ended up being a disaster.
No,
because I didn't have a stand that was big enough for it. So I tried to put it in a smaller stand, and it kept falling. It fell on the piano. It fell on the damn. So now to go buy a bigger stand.
Fell on the piano. The subtle flex fell on the piano. You have a grand piano?
Baby grand.
Oh, okay.
Baby grand.
Wow, dude. Does anybody play?
Sharon is a classically trained pianist.
What?
And the kids play a little bit. Yep. And I played a little bit. I learned how to play a little bit. I learned how to read music during COVID. I can play a couple tunes.
Is this you learned like how you learned Mandarin for 2 days and then
No. Like I literally 2 days or 3 days ago during Thanksgiving, my mom was playing a little something. She says, "Can you still do it?" I got the book out, played my couple jingles.
No way,
yeah.
Dude.
So I retained a little bit. Yeah, I can
so
still
if
play.
we got together, you could sing Christmas carol. You could play some like Christmas songs, like some jingles.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go, dude. Hell yeah. I'm probably at like that same level with guitar.
Yeah.
But I never learned how to read music, dude.
Yeah.
Sharon's
weird. Sharon can play it. Sharon's phenomenal. He won't play unless she has her books, though. And I was like, Sharon, just like we'll be out in public. Like, Sharon, go play a little something on the piano. And she's like, no. Like she's like, proper. She needs her book. She'll play some shit now. I'm like, damn.
Her parents probably had her grinding when she was younger, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas.
We're letting everybody get in here a little bit before we start diving into this weekend's reaction. Last thing I'll say, shout out my guy KJ, the guy bagging my trees. My tree didn't have a price tag, and he took a way smaller tree's price tag and put it on that thing. Hooked me up with about $50. $50 off the tree. Shout out KJ. All right, let's get into it then. Today, we're going to talk Ohio State, Michigan, South Carolina, Clemson, Auburn, Alabama, and Texas A&M, Texas. Let's go ahead and start with the big one. I mean, the game that usually tends to have the most ratings every single year, Ohio State, Michigan, Ryan Day's coronation day, right? That's what this was supposed. It was supposed to be a coronation. Finally, Ryan Day was going to kind of re-get whatever he once had, refine what he once had against Michigan. Ohio State's clearly a superior team. They're going to roll over them. Aaron Murray, I believe, on this show. I think I called it like 34-13 or 10. And then I think you said, "Oh, will they even score a?" Oh, I'm talking Miami Syracuse. Will they even score a touchdown? I don't see how. And lo and behold, dude, Michigan did it to Ohio State once again. Just beat them up. Just beat them up and won the game on their field. Their field. This I could not fathom a bigger disaster for Ryan Day, dude.
This is the worst loss of his coaching career. There's no doubt about it. You cannot lose 4 straight games, and in the 4th year have a $20 million roster, have a first-year head coach on the other sideline, a team that lost how many draft picks? 15 plus draft picks a year before. 15 plus draft picks, 7-5, playing a former walk-on quarterback in your stadium, and lose the football game. And lose the football and score 10 points. 10 points. And guess what? And have Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson, and have 77 yards rushing and 3 yards per carry.
Ooh. I mean,
you were given essentially a blank. You were given a blank check. This is Oregon, Ohio State, both programs, and you probably say about Texas programs as well. You were given a blank check. They said, "Listen, Michigan's coach is gone. Harbaugh's gone. Michigan lost a lot of players. We're in position to win it all next year. What do you need? I need $20 million. Here's that check. Go build the roster now. Built the roster. Brian Chip Kelly is the OC, one of the best minds in college football when it comes to schematics. And you get 10 points at home with Michigan and lose for the 4th straight year. That is unacceptable. If they don't win a national championship, how the hell do you bring Ryan Day back as your head coach next year?
Ooh.
How?
Ooh.
How?
And what's crazy, Aaron? I mean, so you just that was a lot of very good points of everything that Ohio State had going for it coming into this game, right? And why you thought they would have won and how mightily they failed. But what sucks for Ryan Day is it's literally it's everything, right? It's like you mentioned, it's the fact that it's at home. How about this? It's the fact that on 3rd and 4, well, hold on, it's a couple. How about this? It's the fact that Michigan looks like they're going to score and win the game and gives you an awful interception. Like they try to give you the game back. And you spit on their gift. You spit on their gift. You give it straight back to him. And then 3rd and 4, you have to stop them from getting a first down. It might decide the entire game. You call a timeout. You come out with 12 men on the field. From 3rd and out of a timeout, 12 men on the field, you give the other team an automatic first down on a play where they absolutely have to have it. I mean, exactly. It's really hard for Ryan Day to beat the third base allegations now because that's some bush leagues. That's someone who is panicking a bit. And I'm not saying he's directly responsible for that single thing happening, but the overall discombobulation of Ohio State in this game, getting outcoached, outplayed, making really critical errors like that. It speaks to I think he's like has the yips when it comes to the Michigan game right now.
He's got the yips, and you can't have the yips in this game. Not when you dominated that rivalry for so long. I mean, Ohio State for so long dominated this game. Ohio State was winning national championships. You were gifted, as you allude to, you were gifted this program that dominated Michigan, that won national championships, and you haven't done either. You can't beat Michigan. What is he, 1-4 against Michigan? You're just 4 straight losses. That's what I'm saying. Like, if he can't win a natty right now, somehow pull it together. Listen, this team, I still have them as my number 16 power rankings in college football. I still think this is a really talented team. I've seen Will Howard play at a high level. I've seen the defense play at a high level. The running game, to me, is still just wow. They cannot get the running game going. I think that's going to hold them back from winning a championship. But especially from top to bottom, this is still one of the best rosters and maybe the best roster in college football. They can still win a championship. But if they don't, how can you keep him next year? How? If you can't beat Michigan this year, when will you be able to beat Michigan? When?
So,
not one player on that roster has beat Michigan.
It's a good question. I mean, but to be fair, like you said, not long ago, the complete inverse was true. Now, to be fair, it's like you said, this has happened on Ryan Day's watch. He's seen everything turn upside down.
Complete inverse of like.
Well, okay, but think about okay, but like Ohio State was dominating Michigan not that long ago.
Yeah, but Michigan was shit though. That's the difference.
Well, okay, that is one difference.
Michigan was awful. Ohio State's one of the best rosters in America.
But also remember how Jim Harbaugh was like, "Oh, Jim Harbaugh can't figure it out. He can't win the big game. He can't do this. He can't do that." They stuck with Harbaugh, and they were rewarded for it. Like, no, I feel you. In those big games, he never had the advantages that Ryan Day had going into this one and lost those. He was always trying to punch up, so that's a key difference. But if you ask how you keep him, I mean. It's because he's won 90% of his games. I don't know, man. It's still tough for me. I get it. I do understand it. I understand where you're coming from. And if you make the move, I'd kind of be like, yeah, okay. But like,
it makes sense.
It's a big move. I know you blew this game, but do you give him maybe another year to figure? I don't know.
You won 90% of the games, but that's against teams with significant less talent than you. Like, that's the way the Big Ten is. Like, that's all that matters. At the end of the day, like, you are going to win all those games. It comes down to, can you win the big one? And he can't win the big one. And this year they added, and now the problem this year is you added another big dog in Oregon, and guess what? You couldn't win that game either.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's again, these playoffs are uber important for Ryan Day. Everything might be on the line. Let's talk about Michigan though, because to me, this was a massive culture win for Michigan. Proof that the culture, not necessarily the roster, but the culture that Jim Harbaugh created there, still has some legs to it.
Oh yeah.
And kind of, you want to talk about good brand synergy? Having the Larry Ellison, Bryce Underwood stuff break, and then getting this win after a season of after a season of misery, all of a sudden Michigan's back.
Yeah.
In a big way, dude. It's crazy how back Michigan feels because of stories that took place off the field and then a game that took place on Saturday. They just stopped an entire Ohio State recruiting class from ever getting golden pants.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a big flex. If you were a piece of those Michigan teams, you can say, like, would Will Johnson be on all four of those teams? Or he might be a third-year guy.
Third-year, three of them.
Yeah. They're all, the best guys might be. But whatever, you get the point. Like, to be able to say that would be something that I would carry with me to my grave. I would carry that with me to my grave as a player. I'd be so pumped to be able to tell people that I stopped Ohio State from ever getting gold pants.
All right, Turner Young in the chat is all up on this, roster talent. TBob, you say this very eloquently every year when it comes to recruiting. You accumulate enough 4 and 5-star guys, you're gonna be elite. Okay, and they have enough 4 and 5-star,
or
guys.
You should be. If you have a bunch and you're blowing it, then that's on the coach.
That's on the coach.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God. Bilbo says Ryan Day woke up with his recruiting stat bar maxed out and set to freshman difficulty, but still doesn't know how to play. Nah, dude, he's at least playing on like varsity. Come on now.
Well, I can tell you one thing: it ain't Chip Kelly ain't going to get the head coaching job after that performance offensively, though. Either. I mean, you got to
just Chip Kelly want the head coaching job. I mean, Gus Malzahn just bailed on UCF to go be Florida State's OC over the week.
Well, he obviously bailed on UCLA to go be the OC, but maybe it wasn't the thought of do I get that job eventually one day?
But I guess it is like the Ohio State job. Yeah. But whatever, like you said, he's dead now. You can't get that now because Will Howard. Now I will say this: Will Howard, I believe this was the exception, not the rule. Because in both other big games, he was very good. So I'd expect a big bounce back from Howard. I think they were just in their head. I mean, Michigan just big brothered them. They just bullied them. They just bullied. Ohio State didn't get their last first down came with 6 minutes left in the third or something. Stop getting distracted by Turner Young. Is Turner Young?
No, I'm not getting distracted. I was looking at the I wanted to go back to the stat line just to confirm some stuff, but I mean, I keep talking about how great this Ohio State defense is. And then in a couple of games this year, they've been disappointing. And I'm like, oh, it's only 13 points. This is a Michigan offense that has a walk-on quarterback essentially playing, and they controlled the ball for 34 minutes. They rushed it for 173 for 4.2 yards per attempt. Like, that is unacceptable for Ohio State's defense for what they've built it to be.
Yeah.
What I said last week, I was like, I don't think Michigan's going to cross the 50-yard line more than twice.
Yeah. And it's funny because I'll be damned if they didn't just rely on that. They still have a very good defense, Michigan does, with superstar players. So I'll be damned if they didn't just rely on the defense. And that was some old school. I've always described the running game, Aaron, like erosion, right? You know how water smooths down the rock over time?
Yep.
Like that's the running game. And my God, in that fourth quarter. And then honestly, Warren Davis finally completed a pass.
Yeah.
Like that was big. It turns out when you throw, if you can complete it, that it can be pretty impactful to a drive.
9 of 16 for 3.9 yards per attempt.
But he had like 4 or 5 completions at the end.
You lost that game. You lost that game, Ohio State.
I know. It's crazy. Shout out Michigan. Oh, you sons of bitches.
Good for Michigan, man. Good for Michigan. Hey, Ohio State gets the weekend off then. They don't got to face Oregon again.
But Michigan defending national champs again. I'm just thinking about being a fan. It has had to have been such a miserable year, and you could not have ended on a higher high.
Yep.
I mean, you are rolling into the offseason straight chilling, dog. Like you are on top of the world right now. Shout out to Michigan, dude. What is it? Hail to the victors? Is that what they say?
They'll probably flip a couple of like late guys too. Yeah, that class will bolster even more. I don't know what they are at right now, but I'm sure they're going to continue to creep up with the momentum.
Yeah, bro. They're yes, I would agree with that. They might flip Jakeem, or they might not flip. He hadn't committed anywhere. They might get Jakeem Stewart, who is the 2026 number one player, D tackle from New Orleans. That's the number one priority for LSU. And
Michigan's number 8 right now, actually, in the recruiting rankings. 2 5-stars, 12 4-stars, 20 total commits.
Yeah. They up. Michigan's up, dude. I'm telling you, bro.
Let's go, Michigan.
The victors. Woe to the vanquished.
Which is still weird, though. Like when we played, like Michigan's such a big brand. It's still crazy they were down for so long, right?
Somebody made an account called Third Base Investigators. How many times has Michigan got to drag their nuts across Ryan Day's face before he admits he likes the taste? I like more even than the joke. I like the fact that somebody made the name Third Base Investigators. Yeah, they're finally ready to go public with their findings on Ryan Day. All right. Anything else on Michigan Ohio State?
Nope. Better win, Ohio State. Better win.
Hail to the victors. Woe to the vanquished. All right. Next on this list, one very near and dear to Aaron's heart. Aaron's found his way into a very interesting engagement angle here recently. He is farming South Carolina for views, and it is working.
It is a true belief, though. Okay,
It is a true belief. It is not a true belief. You are correct. I am not. You're right.
You know what's funny? Like if you look at all these other announcers now, they're all jumping on the bandwagon, and I've been saying this for months now, and all of a sudden, like Orlovsky's on it. Cannell, I think, even said something good about it. Like a bunch of these announcers, like, "Oh, South Carolina," like. Been fucking telling y'all for 6 weeks.
I mean, so Aaron does his like top 12 college football teams every week, and they've been gaining a lot of steam lately. But every time it's because like South Carolina is really high, and then everybody just responds, ball, certified ball knower. Aaron knows ball.
Well, then Shane Bieber retweeted it today, so then I had all these South Carolina fans just going dude. On it, just loving it.
It was especially extreme today. I didn't know Beamer retweeted. So
that
makes sense.
Like 3 million views a week ago.
No. I'm talking about just purely the South Carolina farm. The Cox fans are up in there. Yes. Dude. The Cox are about. Okay, but let's talk about this Cox, because what a win for South Carolina in Clemson. I actually picked Clemson to win this game. I can't remember what we talked about on the pod.
Did you?
Saturday ended up picking Clemson to win this game before kickoff.
And with us.
I think I did, and then I think I had like I was trying to whatever. That was kind of different. It doesn't matter. But Lenore Sellers, dude. I mean, my God, like it's really mature. And I'll let you speak to this more. But obviously, somebody who all year long has been really maturing as a quarterback, making better decisions, all of that. But again, the crazy part is when you combine all the traditional quarterbacking traits with that raw athleticism. And you saw the raw athleticism on the 4th and 14 FT dub in your arch rival stadium, playoff trip potentially on the line, everything hanging in the balance. And my God, he not
like the new Cam Newton with what he does running the football? I mean, how many times did we see in that game, and you saw in the A&M game, him shrug? And I mean, it happened probably 4 or 5 times once again in this one versus Clemson, shrugging off multiple defenders in the backfield. And then turning it into like a 20-yard run. Like Cam used to do that all the time. And I mean, they're not too far. I mean, I think Cam was like 6'5". I mean, he's 6'3", 245, 250. So very similar size.
Sellers isn't like 6'5", though. That's interesting.
He's like 6'3", 6'4", but like 245.
Damn, that's bro, to be okay. So first off, then so that's about heavy or as heavy as Cam, right? So that's a thick boy. And that's a thick boy moving fast.
Like I met him. I remember meeting him week 1. We sat down for the players meetings, and like him and Rocket walked in the room together. I was like, good God, that's some big dudes right there. I mean, he's like big lower half, strong legs. And listen, we knew he was going to be a good runner. The coaching staff knew he was going to be a runner. The coaching staff told him, like, listen, just let your legs guide you as you develop as a passer. And he's not like an incredible passer. He's a good passer. He's improved.
Redshirt freshman, though, right?
So redshirt freshman.
The potential.
But what he does running the football is freaking believable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, I've not seen it since Cam. I've not seen what he does running the football since Cam back in 2010.
I mean, Aaron, if we're going to go down the I told you so route, I mean, I was on Lenore Sellers preseason route.
Yeah, NCAA was right.
Remember, we were like, I kept running into him because I guess I was playing like tier 3 with Nebraska or whatever. And I'm like, who is this dude?
Justin was not the same kind of runner as he is, though. Like, Justin was physical. Justin was big. Justin did not run like this.
I like Turner's Jalen Hurts. No, but do you think he's a better passer?
He's bigger than Jalen.
But Jalen was strong. Jalen's a power lifter. Jalen squats like 1,000 pounds.
Yeah. What was Cam, though? Cam was only like 240, 250.
That's what I'm saying. So
they're about the same size.
I'm saying if Lenoris is that weight and 2 inches shorter or 3 inches, then he's huge. Yes. Like, he is dense. He is dense to be moving that fast. Anyway, so Lenoris Sellers is awesome. What a win for Shane Beamer. What a year for Shane Beamer. I don't have much to say on Clemson besides this is a pretty good Clemson team, but you've seen Dabo start to change his tune about transfer portal and other things like that. So, like, he finally seems to be soft admitting that he's got to kind of change. And I remember he's couching it in like he has some sort of loophole because people were asking about, like, players being paid. Why don't you retire like you said you would? And he's like, no, I'm for this. I'm not for whatever. Doesn't matter. Clemson's going to be fine. I don't think they'll ever be great again, but they'll still continue to be a very relevant college football playoff team. But South Carolina, this is their only shot. A lot of shit happened this weekend, Aaron. Is there any way that South Carolina gets it?
I mean, the only way is the committee come out and say that they've lost to LSU because Lenoris was out for a half. And that this should be in our mind that, like, it's a 10-2 team, and they've been the hottest team. They've been the hottest team in college football the second half of the season. Like, name a team who has played better football for the past 6-7 weeks than
I mean, none of the wins are as impressive, but Notre Dame would be maybe one
Oregon,
one of the answers there. Yeah.
But not to.
But to your point, I mean, those are two shoe-in playoff teams.
Yeah, those are 2 shoe-in playoff teams. Like, no one has played as well and has won as many big time games.
I mean, Indiana has, but then Ohio State happened. But whatever.
So, like, to me, is there a path? I think it's very slim. I think it's probably like a 10% chance. Yeah, the committee is going to have to make some sort of excuse of like why they lost one of their games, and they're not going to count it. But I am being dead ass honest when I do put my rankings out. When I believe that this is one of the best 10 teams in America.
What sucks? What sucks is I agree with you, and desperately from a vibes standpoint, I want South Carolina in there because they are playing top 10 football, and it's such a good story, and they're fun and they're badass. But I kind of can't even argue for them to be in there because I'd be going against everything I've always argued for. Because I've always said the games have to matter, and they lost the head-to-head to the other two teams, and that fucking sucks. So I think they're better than the other two teams right now, and I wish that there's a way to.
But what if they beat LSU and they're a 2-loss team? And
then they're in. They're in easily.
Okay, so they would be over the 2 teams they lost.
Yeah, because they have 3 losses. They have 3 losses.
So can the committee say that we're just not counting that LSU game in our mind because Lenoris was out for the half?
Again, I hope they do.
Yes.
I can't sit
I think that's the only way they're doing it, but I don't think they would.
Yeah, I can't.
That's the only way.
I would love that. But
I think they've everything you want to be a championship team right now. You have a quarterback that can beat you in multiple ways. You have an elite defense. I mean, the one thing that hinders him a little bit is Lenoris does turn the ball over a little bit too much at times. I think 2 turnovers in this game, the fumble and the pick. But other than that, like, they play winning football. Like, there's not a lot of teams out there that you can say right now do what they do. They play consistent, winning championship type football.
I think what sucks too for South Carolina, I've been somebody who's talking about being bullish on their future. I unfortunately don't know if I agree because they're so senior laden this year. But Lenoris is always but Lenoris is going to be even better. So like that will offset a lot of that. But like they're gonna have to work real hard to create a defense close to what they have. I know they still have Dylan Stewart, but it's gonna be
I would say like 7-8 guys will be off that defense next year. I mean, it's
so that's where this becomes the biggest bummer is if they don't get that opportunity. And then this team will still be remembered among South Carolina fans for sure, but you would have loved to see what they could do in a tournament situation.
We're trying. I know there's a lot of announcers out there trying. Maybe we'll see. Sadly, I don't feel it. Clemson, though, they're still gonna be in it though. You want to go to the Syracuse-Miami game?
Now, okay, you know what? One argument on the way out of here. Who had the more recent losses? Right? Because that matters in college football sometimes.
It does.
And then you argue for form. You say, oh, well, we're going by what form the teams are in. And you argue that South Carolina's a better form because they won. I don't know. That would maybe be.
And unfortunately, there's not a big injuries for Alabama or Ole Miss right now where you could pull the FSU card and be like, oh, well, they're missing so and so, so we're going to put them in over that.
See,
like,
thank you.
Both teams are pretty healthy.
Thank you. See, guys, finally. Well, I guess you never disagreed with it, but using that as a card to do whatever you want, to get out of jail free card, basically.
Yeah. Oh, Trey Harris is, we don't know if Trey Harris is going to play. And South Carolina's a completely different team without Trey. So we're going to put him in because of Trey Harris. Hey, they can pull some stuff if they want to. I mean, it's been done.
All right. So massive shout out to Scar. We all hope you get a chance. Go Cox. Next up on the list, let's talk Texas A&M. The Longhorns going into an absolutely insane Kyle Field and finding a way to win like they have every game this year with an elite defense, man. Texas defense statistically has been one of the best in the entire country all year long. Now, we still maybe haven't seen them against a great offense, but it doesn't matter because they have absolutely dominated everybody that they played pretty much. And this Saturday was no different.
I think they're the true definition of like passing the eye test and continuing to prove they are elite. I think this is the best team in America. If Quinn, and I thought Quinn played a good game. I thought he played one of the better games he's played this season. Like that is the toughest environment in college football against a good defense and a multiple defense. And the pick sucked. I mean, the pick six, the ball got tipped. I mean, that's just like, it is what it is. The fumble too. I mean, the dude just hits it absolutely perfect. So, people can put, he turned the ball over twice again. I'm like, those were not as egregious as like the Georgia game turnovers. Like to me, that was like,
that's fair.
A little bit of luck, a little bit unfortunate for him, the way the ball kind of bounced for both those plays. But to look at Texas and say, like, we've said all year it's elite defense. That is an elite defense. They're running the ball better. The Wisner guy has been dominant for the past 3 weeks. They got their guy. They're the elite at receiver. And like I said, it looked like Quinn, to me, proved a lot playing on the road in that environment against that defense. Like I said, probably one of the more consistent games he's played all year. So I don't know. Like I said, I look at Texas to me as I think they're the best team in America. I said it early in the season. They had obviously the big boo-boo versus Georgia. And Quinn's kind of been a little erratic. But if you get a good Quinn, not even an elite Quinn, just a good Quinn Ewers.
Yes.
Is that not the best team in college football?
Well, no. I mean, it goes back to what we said in that Arkansas game, right? Like that wasn't a bad win because ultimately it was a dominant defensive. Like we said, like the offense, Steve Sarkisian can always come up with a winning game plan for that offense and those weapons. It may not be the most high-flying, best offense in the country, but like when the defense leads in the way that it does, if you're telling me that the Quinn Ewers side of the ball is the weak side of the ball, that's Steve Sarkisian, that's a pretty good place to be.
I agree.
And I mean, I mean, think about Sarkisian from a play calling standpoint in this game. I mean, says, you know what? The stadium, this is a toughness check. We think we're bigger and stronger. Let's run it. I mean, you end up running the ball, 47 times for 5 yards a carry compared to 34 for 102 for A&M. I mean, that's big brother, bro. And that sucks for A&M fans because I know, but you knew A&M was doomed from the second that cannon didn't go off on game day. Did you see that?
No.
That's the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen.
Oh.
So they had the cat out there. Pat McAfee's there. They do the sword thing. They do the fire motion. and the cannon didn't fire. And then the cadets are scrambling, looking awkward, scrambling. McAfee feels awkward. He's like, "Is he A&M's gonna lose?" Like it's just it was an all-time bad moment.
And I know everyone, because I have Georgia fans texting me the entire game, like, who do we want to win? Who do we want to win? Like all my family type, like, who do we want to win? Who would we rather face next week? I was like, I would rather face A&M. I do not want to face Texas again. I don't think A&M's, and everyone's like, oh, but we're so scared of a mobile quarterback. We're so scared of a mobile quarterback. I'm like, yeah, I agree. Marcel's legs is a weapon.
Bro, he does not have. Who's ever saying they want to play A&M over Texas is overthinking things. They're overthinking that. They're overthinking.
No. They were saying they would rather play Texas over A&M because they were scared of Marcel's legs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're saying they want. Oh, yeah, that's insane. That's insane. Yes, sorry if I didn't say that. That's insane.
I'm like, no. Marcel does not have the dudes around him. Like he does, and he's not Jalen. Like he's a great runner, and like don't take the LSU game for what is the norm, because LSU's defense, obviously, we've seen is really bad against quarterback run, but they don't have receivers at A&M. And then like the running game is obviously not the same without Le'Veon Moss there. So like they just don't have weapons.
They lost their best player.
Yeah, it's a one-man show. It's Marcel has to run for 100 yards if they're going to win the football game. And he's a redshirt freshman. That's not going to happen consistently. Texas was going to win this game. The defense was going to do what the defense did. It just came down to, could Quinn play good football? He did. They won the game. It was an easy win. That game was never in doubt in my mind. Even after the pick six, that game was never in doubt.
Yeah. For the score being, kind of relatively close, you're right. It was kind of a strangling of a game from Texas. And in that environment, again, love the game plan from Sark.
Yes.
We think we're bigger and tougher. You got to go on the road, guys. Again, football cliches. What travels? Two things travel, Aaron. What is it?
Run game, defense.
Bam. There you go. There you go. If you don't know that,
if Sark wanted to put up another, if Sark wanted to put, and once again, they had 2 turnovers, like fluky turnovers inside the 10-yard line. Like if Sark wanted to put up 25 to 30, he could have. I think Sark was like, let's just win this game, get it over with, and move on to the SEC championship game. Like, that was. The score does not indicate how dominant of a win that was.
I agree. Good on Texas, man. Horns up. And, we sit in, we all tried to be like, oh, Texas, just wait till you get in the SEC. And literally, what's crazy? Who could have seen it coming? NIL happens right before Texas finally joins the SEC, and they just rocket ship to the top. And now they're in the SEC championship, their first year in the conference. And now these Texas fans are going to be like, oh, SEC, it's so easy. I know we couldn't win the Big 12, but here we are already in the SEC championship. I mean, what if Texas wins the SEC championship in year one?
Ugh. I think they are going to win the SEC championship in year one.
They're going to be insufferable. Oh. I'm actually just thinking about this now for the first time. This might, I don't, do I have to cheer for Georgia now? I don't even know, dude.
I think you have to.
I mean, you know me, both these teams feel like coastal elites to me, but probably a little less Georgia.
I think Texas is well situated for this new era of college football.
Yeah.
Like they are, and it's proving. That's a big win. Big win for Sark.
Texas. All right, next on the list, Auburn, Alabama. Auburn had their chances.
They did.
Offense just too bad. Could not figure out a way. And again, I don't know why Auburn was going so hard on the bulletin board material. I think they were really feeling themselves.
Yep.
After that A&M win, but Auburn still, they're not there.
Well, Jalen had a night too. I know he had a couple turnovers, but like Jalen, it's funny. I tweeted this. I was like, "Oh, Jalen's having one of those nights."
You wouldn't guess it looking from my Alabama friend group.
Well, they're saying he's shitty.
Yeah, they just hate him.
I don't know. He was having one of those nights where maybe it wasn't as good as like Georgia, but it was like, okay, he's having this good of a night going against Auburn, where like there's no chance. There's no chance. I mean, he had three rushing touchdowns, 104 yards rushing. When he gets over 100 yards rushing, to me, like that's when he's having one of those nights. In the passing, he was 18 to 24 for 256 passing. Like 2 turnovers suck, But you can't tell me 250 passing, only 6 incompletions, and 104 yards rushing with 3 touchdowns is not a good damn night at the quarterback spot.
I know. I mean, no, that absolutely is. That absolutely is. I'm not disagreeing with you. What do we think? Is Alabama actually the only 3-loss team that can get in the playoff?
Yes. Did you see Lane Kiffin's retweet though?
No, what do you say?
And it's it's actually a pretty damn good tweet. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like it makes a lot of sense. So this was his retweet. Here we go. Ole Miss has 9 wins, outscoring their opponents 390 to 94, a plus 296 differential. Alabama is plus 252. In the 3 losses, Ole Miss was outscored by 13 points. In the 3 losses, Alabama was outscored by 33 points.
Common opponents. That Oklahoma game doing a lot there.
Well, you're going to see it right here. Common opponents both beat Georgia. The Rebs won by 18. Bama won by 7. Both teams beat South Carolina. Rebs won by 24. Bama won by 2. Alabama beat LSU by 29. Ole Miss lost to LSU by 3 in overtime. Ole Miss beat Oklahoma by 12. Alabama lost to Oklahoma by 21.
True.
Which team deserves to get in?
I mean,
if that was a team A versus team B,
there'd be no chance to choose Alabama. I agree. I said there's no chance that. So what is the argument for Bama then? Because that is Ole Miss finding all the best. No, that is Ole Miss finding all the best angles for themselves. But what am I missing? What would be Alabama's
difference?
Are their losses less bad? I mean, no, not with the Oklahoma one, right? And the Vanderbilt one hasn't aged well at all. Yeah, those are 2 losses that have not aged well. Which, by the way, can I say this?
The Kentucky loss sucks. The Florida loss doesn't look as bad because Florida's 7-5 now. I mean, I would say I would put the losses at I think the biggest thing is you talked about earlier with South Carolina, just in these teams. They lost recently. They lost 2 weeks ago to Florida.
Yeah.
But I guess Alabama just lost to Oklahoma too, though. Eey.
Yeah.
That Oklahoma loss was way worse.
It kind of sounds like it's Ole Miss, dude.
I think it's Ole Miss. I mean, the losses are neutral. The losses to me are neutral. You both lost to 6-6 teams. Yeah, I mean, Ole Miss should get in over Alabama.
If you're an Alabama fan in the chat and you think you have a good argument, just send it our way. Let me know, because I do want to get I want to get the Alabama bias. Like, we have the Ole Miss bias, and it's very strong. I wonder what the Bama bias is.
I think they're the better overall team. I think they're the more balanced team. Yeah,
I think Ole Miss. Yeah, I think when they're both at their peak, I think that's true. Yes. Ole Miss is just deeply inconsistent.
So is Alabama
this year.
How is Alabama consistent this year?
No, they're not. I'm sorry. Well, I would say that the Ole Miss. Well, I don't know. Actually, I agree with that. I was going to say that the Ole Miss lows are lower, but yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. So you're right.
You got your ass whooped by Oklahoma.
Yeah.
A week
ago. By the way, here's food for thought: is LSU better than Alabama? Because LSU beat Vandy and LSU beat Oklahoma and beat them up both pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a weird year.
Does that mean LSU's better? Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's an entire chain that can go.
There's a whole circle of this team beat this team, but this team beat this team, this team beat this. It was like, oh my god, what a year in the SEC. But no, I mean, Lane makes a great point. Why is Alabama right now in the AP ranked how many spots ahead? 4 spots ahead. Alabama's 11, Ole Miss is 15.
Yeah,
South Carolina jumped Ole Miss in the AP.
I don't know the angle.
I don't know the angle either. People just don't like Ole Miss.
Alabama. I don't know. Maybe it's brand. We'll see what the committee does then. It's very interesting because the committee can gain a lot of.
Why does South Carolina jump? Why does South Carolina jump Ole Miss, who they lost to way worse at home, yet don't jump Alabama? What's the difference? What is the difference?
Bama, baby.
I mean, Ole Miss beat their rival too this weekend by 2 scores.
Yeah, Egg Bowl's always going to be a battle,
I mean, almost identical scores, 28-20, 28-14, 26-14.
As we're talking, if I sound like I don't have a lot to say, it's because like I can't. Maybe I'm brain dead, but I can't figure out a good counterpoint. To be fair, but whatever. Like, yeah, and both played like kind of boring, bad teams this weekend. So good, but look, it's the Iron Bowl. Good Alabama for winning the Iron Bowl, and you know what? There's something to be said for having the biggest brand in college football.
Yep.
Because that's probably like Chad is saying that's one of the reasons why you'd maybe get them in there. And it's just, I think, again, like when you dominate the way they did for 15 years, of course our brains are poisoned and or trained to be like, oh, it's Alabama. Yeah. But that is interesting taking a step back. I don't know. All right. Next game on the list. Miami. I
think I picked this game. I'm pretty sure I picked this game.
I think you did pick Syracuse, actually.
I did pick Syracuse. Wasn't feeling too good when they were down 21-0. I was like, God damn it, that was a shitty pick.
But Miami's season of dreams comes to an end. What do they call it? The Loud House up there in Syracuse, Aaron? Or don't you have the Syracuse family?
I do have the Syracuse family. I don't know if I've heard the Loud House though.
Hold on, let me see.
It would make sense. Are you thinking of the Bounce House for UCF?
No, the Loud House. That's what they call. Okay. What is it? I think of it as the Carrier Dome. I don't think it is anymore.
I think it's been renamed.
But whatever. They went up to the Loud House and saw their season fall apart. I mean, Miami had it all year long, and here at the moment, and the most important moment. Well, actually, hold on. Before I go too hard on this, are they out the playoff completely?
Yes, they're
okay.
Out.
Even with 2, or is it 3 losses?
We're gonna have to bring the chalkboard back up. Not tonight. We're doing tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow. I'm gonna let your brain breathe a little bit. We said 2 ACC teams we could go. I think we're down to 1 now. I think we're down to 1.
So 3-loss SEC over 2-loss Miami.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
And obviously, if Clemson loses, they're not in. I don't think a 2-loss SMU gets in either. So we got 1 ACC team in.
Yeah. I'll have to ruminate on that tonight. Okay, so whatever. Let's say they're at the playoffs, though. Then what a just disastrous end for Mario Cristobal and the Hurricanes. I mean, you had the quarterback finally. You have a guy who's up for Heisman, and for whatever reason, the defense has just completely let you down all year long. Were you surprised they didn't go for it on 4th and goal at the end when they kicked the field goal?
Especially
I was shocked.
The defense was playing.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't like why have faith that the defense is going to come up with a
Syracuse.
stop?
No one was stopping anyone. It was going to come down to could anyone hold themselves to a field goal, which Syracuse did, or who's going to get the ball last.
Yeah,
that was it. No one was stopping anyone in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Yeah, that was and it's a story of the entire year with Miami. Like we said, the offense is championship good. But the defense was a glaring Achilles heel weak spot that now I thought it would get them in trouble in the playoffs or maybe the championship game. I thought they would make it there though. But Fran Brown's done a hell of a job at Syracuse this year.
They should be. It's so weird because I had Louisville this weekend versus Kentucky, and same thing. Like Louisville, good football team, somehow lost to Stanford.
Yeah,
Syracuse, same thing, somehow lost to Stanford. I mean, you're talking about a Syracuse team that probably should be 10-2. Then they lost to BC too. I don't know how the hell they lost to BC. So that's a good Syracuse team for Fran Brown.
Syracuse was picked to finish 12th in the ACC coming into the year, and they just finished 9-3, 5-3 in the ACC, and had their biggest comeback in program history. 21-0 was the biggest comeback in program history against the Miami Hurricanes, who were trying to stamp their ticket to the ACC championship, maybe the playoff. Is Fran Brown in year 1? Who we said it when he got the job. He went hard on the portal. He got a ton of guys in. He convinced, what's very important? He convinced his booster base to give him $800,000 to pay just Kyle McCord.
I know.
Just Kyle McCord.
And I remember I told you that when I heard that from a Syracuse guy when I was up playing golf up north, and I was like, what?
No, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is credit to Fran Brown for being able to galvanize the troops when that was very He was new, he's new to town and everything, right? And he sold them on their vision. And so the point of all this, so to win this game in that manner, in that stadium, what a year one. I mean, that's an A++ year one for Fran Brown.
He should be on the short list for Coach of the Year.
I agree. Actually, I agree. Now Cignetti's done it. Probably that's like the more extreme
Cignetti, version. Obviously you got Dion. Which I would say yes to either of those two. Obviously, I want to say this though, just because I brought up Louisville. Your boy crushed it in the game. But that's because I said Cardinals played 90% of the time.
Oh yeah, Louisville. Look, you're such a natural at now. I didn't even notice that you weren't saying Louisville anymore, dude. Louisville.
You did a good job. Appreciate it.
Hey,
but I will say this: I've never said the mascot as much as I did in that game. I must have said Cardinals 100 times.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, look, man. It's why play with fire?
Why? I was going to mess up at some point. Let's just lessen the chances.
If you're like a craftsman, yes, at certain times you have to deal with the dangerous materials, but why do it more than you have to? Like you played it very OSHA certified. Okay. I do want to talk just like a second about Louisville, taking a bit, but last thoughts on how do you feel better or worse about Miami going into next year now?
Worse. You don't have Cam.
That's what I'm saying, but it's weird though, right? Because it's an undeniable improvement record-wise. Like the team was still way better.
Yeah, because of one player. Take Cam off that team. Take Cam off that team. I know. And what we've seen this year, what are they, 6-6?
Restrepo still would have been a beast, but who knows what the record would have been. Yeah, I know. I don't know.
I mean, how many one-score games did they win this year? Louisville, Cal, Virginia Tech. 3 right there.
It's
so I mean, you're talking about maybe 8-4, which I mean we would be probably sitting here bitching, moaning that like, oh, that's not good enough.
Yeah, it's well, and Miami learned this lesson. I'm not going to declare them dead quite yet because, as you said, they learned
dead. I just don't know.
They learned.
If you couldn't get it done this year, I don't think I feel great. Like he's building a contender going forward.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, exactly.
I don't view him as like, oh, they're going to fall off and be like a 6-16 next year. I think they will.
The thing is, though, one thing that is true is they will always invest in a quarterback now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll put up money, but what if you get a DJU?
True.
It's on your scouting, right? You got to hit though. And who knows if you're going to hit as hard as you did on Cam. Like you could hit really good and not be close to what Cam Ward's been.
Yep.
This year. So, sorry, Miami, that sucks. But shout out Fran Brown at Syracuse. That's awesome. Was your family pumped?
Oh yeah, pumped. And he could take a shower. I mean, he better took like a nice long.
Oh, Fran, I forgot where he's going. Yeah,
shower. Just maybe even like a bubble bath for the man. Just give him a bubble bath, couple glasses of champagne. Let him just soak it all up in there.
Never forget, winners get washed. I mean, Fran Brown quote of the year. Actually, now that I'm saying that, we should be keeping a document of all of our favorite audio. And then get like a soundboard where we could just have it ready to go.
Oh.
I could do an entire winners get washed segment every single week.
He's great in the post game. Do you see what he said to Dabo too?
No, I didn't see.
Oh, he's like, Dabo, you're welcome. I got you in there,
baby. Let's go now. Oh my God.
He was giving shouts to everyone. He was like, Kirby, man, I appreciate you sending that message last night to me. And well, he's just going through the list. He was like,
well, I mean, like I said, dude, it's a storybook ending to year 1.
Oh yeah, it is. They'll go to a good bowl game now, probably somewhere down south for the fans to get warmed up.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Cuse, baby.
I can't wait to go back to your town. The Relia Quest. Let's go.
Dude, I'm on the call for that game. I hope you're there.
Oh, that'd be sick, actually.
Yeah.
I
know some spots.
By the way, does it start with an M and rhyme with weenus? Do you remember what your weenus is?
Your weenus, your skin?
You remember when? No, that was your epidermis. But when people be like, I can see your weenus. This is just what I was told on the playground. I don't know if it's real or not, but I was always told it was like your elbow. You know, like that skin, that skin on your elbow or whatever.
Yep, Bo knows.
Okay, chat say Bo knows elbow. Okay, hey, by the way, Aaron, I would like to formally apologize to the entire Snaps community for ever stopping saying Mark poops, because holy shit,
it was bad. It was a tough.
What a disaster! What, this was the first year, maybe ever or in a very long time, that Kentucky sold out all their home season tickets and they did not see a single win. Maybe not a single power 4 win in that. What do
you mean?
In that building this year?
Oh, in the building.
Not there. Building. In that building.
But that was their only. That was only power 4 win of the year, though.
Oh, God.
Their only wins were Southern Miss, Ohio, Murray. I mean, I guess that's what the committee's looking at. Ole Miss, like, how the hell did you lose to that football team at home? Like, did Ole Miss lose?
Georgia almost lost, dude. You know,
I'm telling you, like,
it's a weird year.
Being on that call for the game, I know, like, listen, Connor Boley was going to start. Freshman making his first start. He looked good against Texas a week ago, but I would say it's like Louisville is a good football team. Like, that is a good like Shuck's talented. Their 2 freshman running backs are studs. They've got really good receivers. The defense has been good this year. But, like, I said this on the broadcast, I felt like watching the game Kentucky quit, and I've never seen them quit like that. Like, and got their ass whooped on both lines of scrimmage. Like, to see the big guy, Deion Walker, he got dominated.
Well, and that's not good for Kentucky, especially because, like,
they quit on Mark.
Well, then not only they quit on, but he's like, he's very publicly like bitched about like the big boys spending more money and stuff. But, like, hold up now, like, Louisville ain't like, that ain't Georgia, that ain't the big money. Like, they shouldn't be. They're not spending more than you. So how does that happen? Captain Spartan 04, $10. Thank you, brother, by the way. I did catch you saying Cardinals all second half, but you did get Louisville right every time you said it. Only caught one Louisville. Glad you got to see us dominate Kentucky. By the way, Mike Vrabel replaced Ryan Day. Oh, well, actually, that's interesting. We'll get there.
That'd be a nice one.
Real quick, on the Louisville front too, this is the first time in a few years where you beat Kentucky, right? Because I feel like that was 5 straight losses.
Yeah,
I feel like that was kind of Mark Poops's like saving grace was, hey, I'm beating Louisville at the end of the year. And now, not only did you not beat him, but like Aaron said, you got dominated and Louisville made you quit. Straight up quit. All right, he says Mike Vrabel to replace Ryan Day.
I don't hate it. Did Vrabel play at OSU?
It feels like he did.
I have no idea. Does it not feel like it does?
I have no idea, but he feels like Mike Vrabel played at OSU. Look it up.
I have not looked it up. Where's the Wikipedia when you need it? College, Ohio State, 1993 to 1996.
I don't, Braves might hold out for an NFL job, to be fair. But
he's a first-team All-American his senior year.
Kevin Chavis says Vrabel has said he doesn't like recruiting, but if paid Hamsley and may reconsider. Yeah, you'd have the Godfather offer him probably.
Yeah. Big Ten Defense Alignment of the Year in both 95 and 96.
Whoa, Braves, dude.
Yeah.
By the way, Captain Spartan also says that this is the first time Louisville won since Lamar's freshman year. So, you know what Lamar doesn't get enough credit for? How young he entered the league. Like, he was like 21. Wasn't he? And he's still been playing like great since he got in.
So he played. God, Dave Neal was telling me he actually was on the call for his freshman year of that game, and he came in as the backup and just ran for like 300 yards and just killed it as a true freshman.
Oh, and so he just went. Oh wow!
Yeah. Then obviously the next year as a sophomore, he went and won the Heisman. So.
Joe McCutcheon says, I took 24 deviled eggs to my family's Thanksgiving dinner. Shout out, Joe. I mean, I was pretty composed this year in the deviled eggs because I don't want to say anything, but somebody forgot to buy yellow mustard, and the brown mustard did not taste nearly as good. It was okay still, but I probably stopped at about 10 deviled eggs. So I kept it pretty chill this year.
Did he just ask if Vrabel played at OSU?
Okay, relax, guys. Relax.
TBob didn't know either.
Relax.
Come on,
I didn't
now.
know.
Come
Yeah,
on
that's
now.
what I'm saying. Come on now. No, okay. Well, Aaron, see, like here, fuck you, dude. Because here I am saying relax, like back off of us, and you immediately go to TBob.
Yeah.
Didn't know either.
Yeah.
You just like,
Yes.
what?
Yes.
Show me your license. Show me your license. I bet you. I want to see.
Vrabel was playing when I was like 6 years old at Ohio State.
I want to see.
I was 6. I was 4 to 6 years old when he was playing.
Show me your license. I want to see if you got a CDL. Because you just fucking backed that truck right up on over me, didn't you?
Damn right, I did. Beep, I gave you a honk though. I'll let you know it's coming.
No, you actually didn't.
No, I really didn't.
I was sitting there. I
just backed it up.
Trying to help you, trying to be like, hey, back off.
Yeah.
And they just ran me over. Vrabel's like the living version of John Favreau's character in The Replacements. Very accurate, Bo Molinari. Great comment of the night. God, I can't believe Ohio State lost. Eesh. All right. Coming up on tomorrow's show, I still got to gather all the stories, but I feel like there's a ton to get into, Aaron.
Yeah.
Like we'll redo our playoff Microsoft Paint graphic. I do want to talk a bit about Gus Malzahn stepping down and going to be OC. Oh my God, we're probably the only show that's going to talk Michigan Ohio State. Didn't talk pepper spray.
Yeah.
So
we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, we can talk about that tomorrow. Plays with Fran Brown clips and whatever else we figure out. But yeah, man, what a regular season, guys. What a regular season. And thank you all so much for hanging out with us here on Snaps as we enter the holiday season. I'm very thankful for how much fun this show is to do. And everybody who's supporting the show. So if you want to keep doing that, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications whenever we got new stuff coming up. And do listen on podcast, rate and review. Huge week, conference championship week. We here, baby. I can't believe they maced the players. That's so crazy.
And the coaches too.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if I'm like a normal sized human in between those two massive bodies, I know the cops are getting a lot of shit, but I might freak out and use some mace too.
Yeah.
There's some big motherfuckers on either side that are ready to kill one another.
All right. Peace out, people.
Man, 2.9K to get to 30, guys. Let's go. Please. If we get to 30K by the end of the season, that would be so good. That'd be so good. All right. We love you guys.